Have you ever looked at a beautiful flower and wondered, what if it was looking back at you? It sounds like something from a science fiction movie, but it's completely real. Hidden in swamps, rainforests, and even your local garden center are plants that don't survive by sunlight alone. They hunt, they trap, and they digest living creatures. Some lure insects with sweet scents before turning them into liquid. Others snap shut in less than a second. One species can even trap small frogs, birds, and mice. The most shocking part, scientists believe these deadly plants evolved because they were starving. Today, we're uncovering the incredible world of carnivorous plants, the green predators that completely change the rules of nature. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at an ordinary plant the same way again. Most of us learned the same thing in school. Plants make their own food through photosynthesis. They absorb sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide, then produce the energy they need to survive. Simple, or so we thought. In some of the harshest environments on Earth, the soil contains almost no nutrients, especially nitrogen. For most plants, that's a death sentence. But evolution had another idea. Millions of years ago, a few plants began developing an extraordinary survival strategy. Instead of taking nutrients from the soil, they started stealing them from animals. Not because they wanted to, because they had no other choice. That single evolutionary change created one of nature's strangest groups of organisms. But how does a plant, something with no muscles, no brain, and no teeth, actually catch prey? This is where things become truly unbelievable. Let's start with perhaps the world's most famous killer plant, the Venus flytrap. At first glance, it doesn't look particularly dangerous. Just a small green plant with leaf-like mouths lined with sharp-looking spikes. But those mouths are actually highly specialized traps. Inside each trap are tiny sensory hairs. If an insect touches one hair, nothing happens. Why? Because the plant refuses to waste energy. A falling raindrop or a drifting leaf could accidentally trigger the trap. So the Venus flytrap waits. Only when 2 touches happen within about 20 seconds does it decide that a real insect is probably inside. Then, snap. The trap closes in roughly 1/10 of a second, making it one of the fastest movements in the entire plant kingdom. Imagine blinking and missing the entire attack. But here's something even more fascinating. The trap doesn't immediately seal shut. If the insect is tiny and unimportant, it can sometimes escape through the gaps between the spikes. The plant is actually choosing not to waste precious energy on meals that aren't worth digesting. That's an incredible level of efficiency for something without a brain. Once the prey struggles inside, it repeatedly touches the sensory hairs again. Those movements tell the plant one important message. The prey is alive. Only then does the trap lock completely, creating an airtight digestive chamber. Digestive enzymes slowly dissolve the insect over several days. When the meal is finished, the trap opens again, leaving behind only the hard outer shell. Nature's version of recycling. But the Venus flytrap isn't even the deadliest hunter. The next plant doesn't need speed at all. It relies on deception. Meet the pitcher plant. Instead of snapping shut, it patiently waits. Its leaves have evolved into deep, colorful tubes that look almost like beautiful drinking cups. Bright colors attract insects. Sweet nectar promises an easy meal. A pleasant scent seals the deal. Everything about the pitcher says, "Come closer." Unfortunately for the insect, it's lying. The rim of the pitcher is unbelievably slippery. One careless step, and the victim slides straight inside. Trying to climb out is almost impossible, because the walls are coated with microscopic wax crystals that destroy the insect's grip. At the bottom waits a pool of digestive liquid. Some insects drown almost immediately. Others struggle for hours before finally becoming nutrients. It's one of the most effective traps in the natural world. And here's where things become almost unbelievable. Some giant tropical pitcher plants are so large that they've been found containing frogs, lizards, mice, and even small birds. Imagine being eaten by a plant. It's a reminder that in nature, appearances can be dangerously misleading. But not every carnivorous plant relies on giant traps. Some hunt in ways so clever that they seem almost invisible, covered with hundreds of sparkling droplets. It looks like it's decorated with morning dew. In sunlight, It's breathtakingly beautiful. But those shimmering drops aren't water. They're sticky glue. To an insect, they appear like sweet nectar. The moment it lands, it's trapped. The harder it struggles, the more it sticks. Then something remarkable happens. The tentacles slowly begin bending inward. Leaf after leaf wraps around the insect until it is completely surrounded. Unlike the lightning-fast Venus flytrap, the sundew is incredibly patient. It can take hours, sometimes an entire day. Nature proving that speed isn't always necessary when your trap is perfect. And then there's a hunter that barely anyone knows exists, the bladderwort. Unlike every other carnivorous plant we've discussed, it doesn't hunt on land. It hunts underwater. Floating beneath ponds and lakes are tiny bladder-like traps no bigger than a pinhead. Inside each bladder is a vacuum. When a tiny aquatic creature brushes against a trigger hair, the trap opens. Water and the prey rush inside in less than 1,000th of a second. That's faster than the blink of an eye. Scientists consider it one of the fastest movements ever recorded in any plant. By the time the prey realizes something happened, it's already trapped. If that sounds like advanced engineering, you're not alone. Researchers have spent years studying these tiny underwater traps to better understand ultra-fast mechanical systems. Nature often invents incredible technology long before humans do. Now here's something many people never realize. Carnivorous plants don't actually eat animals for energy. That surprises almost everyone. They still get most of their energy from sunlight, just like ordinary plants. The insects simply provide nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus that the poor soil cannot offer. Think of insects as vitamins rather than dinner. Without sunlight, even a carnivorous plant would eventually die. It's not replacing photosynthesis, it's supplementing it. And that's what makes these plants so extraordinary. They didn't abandon being plants. They simply upgraded their survival strategy. Scientists have identified more than 800 species of carnivorous plants across the world. What's even stranger is that many evolved independently. That means different plant families, separated by millions of years, arrived at the same shocking solution. When life becomes difficult, become a hunter. This is one of evolution's greatest examples of convergent evolution, where unrelated species develop remarkably similar solutions to the same problem. Nature keeps proving that survival rewards creativity. But here's the final twist, and it's perhaps the most surprising of all. Despite looking terrifying, carnivorous plants are actually under threat. Many species are disappearing because wetlands are being drained, forests are cleared, pollution is increasing, and illegal collectors remove rare plants from the wild. Some of Earth's most fascinating hunters are now the ones fighting for survival. It's a powerful reminder that even nature's predators need protection. The next time you walk through a forest or pass a quiet swamp, remember, not every hunter has claws, not every predator has teeth. Some simply wait, silent, patient, rooted to the ground, until the perfect meal comes to them. And somehow, that might be even more incredible than any animal predator on Earth. Which fact surprised you the most? Was it the Venus flytrap's lightning-fast snap? The pitcher plant swallowing small animals? Or the underwater bladderwort that traps prey faster than you can blink? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more fascinating knowledge and discoveries. Until next time, keep questioning the world around you, because nature is always stranger than fiction.